Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Everyday Carry for Everyday Guy, the Jetbeam BC20GT and Thyrm Switchback. So before I talk to you about the flashlight, I want to just explain why I think a handheld flashlight is mandatory. A lot of people who disagree with me use the notion that a cell phone can do anything a handheld flashlight can do. And I want to dismantle that belief system immediately. So here is a shot of my passageway leading into a spare bedroom, and in that spare bedroom is a chair with a backpack on simulating a bad guy. As you can see, the cell phone is completely useless. Now if we bring in the Jetbeam BC20, there is an enormous difference. Guys, the ability to see is one of our most powerful senses, and using information we take in via our eyes allows us to make informed decisions. Further to that, we are also able to control people using light. If I disrupt your visual horizon, you're more than likely going to stop whatever you are doing, especially if it was advancing towards the thing that caused that disruption in your visual horizon. Now, what Jetbeam have done differently is most flashlights these days tend to have 3 or 4 different modes, like low, high, very high, and moonlight, whatever the case may be. Jetbeam have gone a different route. Jetbeam have 2 modes. The BC20 has 2 modes, high and low. From off, you can momentarily on high by sort of a 3/4 way push on the tail switch, which we'll talk about in a second, or you can click it on. High is 1080 lumens. You get that for 2.5 hours. It is a max candela of 16,800 with a max beam distance of 260 meters. Then a double tap or a light tap and an immediate hard tap puts you into low, 120 lumens for 14 hours. Guys, in terms of modes, that is it. Let's take a look at drop test and then beam shots. Now the drop test, I did 2 sets. The first set was done with this tail cap on. The second set was done with the original tail cap. This is the tail cap you get with the BC20. And as you can see, it's got like these 2 ears on it. That is in order to prevent negligently discharging the light if it's in your pocket or whatever the case may be. But once I got my hands on the Thyrm Switchback, I asked the guys at Jetbeam, would it be possible to get one of these, the originals, machined to look like one of these? So Chris sent it away to his main guy in the machining workshop. His name is Jan. And Jetbeam South Africa sorted it out. And it's now actually gone all the way to Jetbeam head office. And they now do produce this tail cap for this flashlight as an optional extra, which is really, really cool. The reason I like that is because once you put the switchback on it, having the ability to use it in conjunction with your firearm, which is where I think the switchback really comes into its own, was very important. But with these ridges, it wasn't as intuitive. Now we're going to get to the firearm stuff in a minute. From the beam shots, you saw that it has a really nice hotspot as well as a really nice flood, but the hotspot is really pronounced and it's able to punch through different thresholds. Let's talk about the use of the BC20 with the Thyrm Switchback. I've got the Switchback 2.0. The cool thing about the 2.0 is it's got a much more robust pocket clip, and it can break away in case you get into altercation. You're not going to break your finger. But what it does do, when it really comes into its own, is when you are manipulating a firearm with it. So if you're using a flashlight, whether it be an FPI or cheek index, and you decide you're going to go for your firearm, you can very easily flick that switchback over your finger and get a really, really useful master grip, or almost 99% full master grip. And then you can run your light as you want. Further to that, if you are going to run your light and you don't have a weapon mounted light and you decide you're going to put your flashlight on, the switchback allows you, from your normal hand, your normal sort of hammer grip position, allows you to bring the light around so that the on-off button indexes with the middle finger. Now this is where that not having these ridges really makes a difference. And then you've got like this throttle pedal here on your thumb, and as you push that forward, it puts the light on. You now have a really useful grip on your firearm, and it's almost like having a weapon mounted light, right? You're not that far from where your weapon mounted light is actually mounted, which I think is really, really useful and a powerful tool. Now, the Thyrm Switchback is from SA Tactical Institute. I believe they also sell Jetbeam products, so you might be able to get this whole setup. And the cool thing is it's inexpensive. It's like $1,200 for the light and like $600 for the switchback. And you got a really, really cool, robust option. The switchback also indexes very nicely from the pocket and isn't very showy. So that's very advantageous for if you don't want to show that you're carrying a large flashlight, or if you want to access it really, really quickly. With this light, I really do recommend getting the switchback. It's a really cool optional extra. Let's talk about what you get in the box or the packaging. Firstly, your packaging is going to look like that. You will get a lanyard, a couple of spare O-rings, and a spare rubberized tail cap. You get your micro USB recharging cable. I'll show you how it charges in a second. This is the standard pocket clip it's going to come with. If you don't want to get the switchback, that's what your pocket clip is going to look like. And then you're going to get like a warranty card and some instruction manuals and that sort of thing. The cool thing is, this is the rechargeable battery it comes with. The 18650 JL260 battery from Jetbeam. Okay. What you'll notice is I haven't been running it with that battery. This is one of the few flashlights that works with virtually any 18650 battery. So I can confirm, if you have a Manka 18650, it's going to work with that. If you have a Brinite 18650, it's going to work with that. It will work with a PowerTac 18650, which I've got in here now. Guys, it will even work with the Olight batteries, which is rare. So I really like what Jetbeam have done. They've sort of said, look, let's dumb down everything, take away all the fancy nonsense, put out a solid tank of a flashlight that has 2 modes and is tactical ready. Now, the reason I have this flashlight is because a buddy of mine, Dean, who runs Fundico Training Consultancy, he is also with the African Police Service for, I think, like 30 years, head of search and rescue in the KZN area. I asked him, what lights do you use besides Surefire and Streamlight and Enforce, because they're virtually not available in this country? And he was like, listen, you've got to get your hands on Jetbeam. He was apparently 30 meters underwater, and he had to use a Jetbeam flashlight, and it worked, and it still works. And that flashlight was rated for 2 meters. So I spoke to Chris at Jetbeam South Africa, and he hooked me up with a nice Jetbeam care package. And then obviously I got hold of SA Tactical Institute, and they hooked me up with a Thyrm Switchback. I think this is a very, very cool EDC option. The ability to go from high to low for administrative tasks. That low of 120 lumens is just perfect, but that high of 16,000 candela, 1080 lumens, gives you that throw and that ability to control, which is very, very important. Guys, that is it. I'll leave Jetbeam link down below. I'll leave SA Tactical Institute link down below. From them you can get the setup. It is a setup I am very impressed with. It works. This is going to be for that kind of guy who doesn't want anything fancy. He just wants a light that's going to work today and tomorrow. I will also say this thing has never ever dimmed. Most flashlights dim, and I think that is why they went with 1080 lumens. They were like, what can we put out there that's going to maintain its intensity and not dim after 30 seconds? This doesn't do that. I've never actually noticed it dimming. When you press the button and you want 1080 lumens, you can get 1080 lumens for as long as you could possibly need 1080 lumens. A really cool light. It's got that surefire feel, if that's a thing. So definitely check it out if you're in the market for like I said, a solid basic tank of a light. Guys, that is it. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you enjoy my videos, I make an EDC video every single week. Please consider subscribing. If you are already subscribed, please consider subscribing to another EDC channel, because we all need your support right now. Guys, that is it. Be safe, train hard. I'll see you in the week for a vlog. Cheers. God bless.